Oh god, I really can't talk now. It's about 7:40 a.m. Just got back from a night out. Pretty fucking tired. Finally almost home. No plans, so just gonna sleep. Surprised how well my makeup lasted. A bit smudged, but a bit pandery, but pretty good, yeah. Almost home. Yes. I made it. Good morning. But good night. Fuck. Oh, yes. Hey, so, Corona is getting a little serious. Here, people don't really tend to give a shit. So, well, they do, but anyway, I'll show you. Your conversation. People are just kind of getting on with it, really. I mean, yes, this is 2 weeks ago, but honestly, nothing's really changed since this point. Some people wearing masks, some people aren't. In Japan, wearing masks is very common, especially this time of year, because a lot of people suffer from hay fever. Definitely you'll find that the older generation are, for the most part, a good 80-90% of people are wearing the masks, but younger, you know, it's a very hit and miss game in terms of who is wearing masks and who are not. It's not usually this empty. People definitely are staying at home, but as you can see, businesses are open as usual. So this is kind of a bit more the outskirt. People, again, they're kind of, you know, continuing life as normal. I mean, in the outskirts, you'll find that people are doing that because it's not so crowded. Here's Tokyo, though, for example, different kettle of fish. I come here once or twice every week to do some work, and there is a really notable difference in how many people are walking. I mean, Tokyo, looking this empty, forget it. This is back at my local station, Hoshikawa. It's fairly empty station anyway, so this is pretty standard busyness. I'm going to take you to the shop, my local kind of small supermarket. All the big ones actually closed down in January and December, so we've only had small ones recently, which haven't really been great, but this one's generally been quite on top of it. I mean, at the beginning there was a little bit of a shortage, but right now, I mean, as you can see, everywhere is pretty much stacked up. In Japan, people tend to do their shopping, you know, daily for their essentials, so when people are hoarding, it's really problematic in Japan. So stores like this, My Basket, have really been trying to keep on top of that. My Basket is pretty handy. This is a shop that closes at midnight. As you can see, we have run out of toilet paper in this one. I have seen actually other supermarkets though that haven't run out. So it kind of depends where you go. Hello, welcome back to Broken Japan. That was a long ass intro, wasn't it? Life is basically continuing as normal. There are less people out, but, you know, including the lack of tourists. But for the most part, yeah, it's just the same. Whether that's because of denial or just because people have no choice in the matter, it's just continuing on. This season, you know, kind of late March, early April time, that's the mama season. That's the, you know, cherry blossom everywhere, sakura, you know, best warm, not too hot, you know, not humid season where there's a huge influx of tourists, and it's difficult to see kind of, yeah, how Japan is going to cope with that. But obviously we get a lot of tourists from Europe, a lot of tourists from America, and no one's going to want to come here during this time. So yeah, that's not good. A lot of companies have decided to have staff work from home, or even limit the amount of times people come in and stagger the work time. So instead of starting work at 8 or 9, start work at 10 or 11 to ease congestion on the trains, right? Which is working so far. At the beginning of the video, you might have seen I was come back from clubbing. So clubbing is actually still going, and in fact, there were a lot of people at the club. They were taking our temperature at the door, but as a lot of people have already established, not everyone presents with fever as a symptom, or indeed you can still be a carrier without presenting any symptoms at all. So I don't know whether that's just to be like, look, we're doing something, you know, from the club's perspective, or whether it's, yeah, just like, yeah, actually they think it's working. I mean, I'm hoping it's the first, because that's not great. It was great. I mean, yeah, there were people out, less. It was the most Japanese people I've ever seen in a club before, in relation to the foreigners, right? It's usually the foreigners that take over. We went to Roppongi in Tokyo, and those of you who do not know, it doesn't feel like the rest of Tokyo, let alone the rest of Japan, so yeah. I go to an international program. My program is YCCS at Yokohama National University. A lot of my friends and a lot of people that I know outside of the program have gone home for spring break, right? As you do, because there's over a month break, and who wants to sit here working the whole time because they can't afford a flight? So a lot of people went home. Are you coming back? What's happening? We don't know. I know a lot of other universities have extended their period of break, maybe for like another month. Currently don't know any information about my program or my uni, so my uni. So that's like another thing that we're waiting on finding out about. There is information. There's a lot of information. There's constantly information. There's constantly updates on the TV. But people are just living their normal life because nothing's really been mandated except for the school cancellation the last 2 weeks. Japan's economy is a little fragile right now, and they've incurred a huge cost in, you know, setting up the Olympics and everything, and massive investment. So I think people are just kind of erring on the side of people do not want to rock the boat too much. They don't want people to panic. Yeah, which I'm not sure what that's gonna do for the long term, but that's certainly gonna do something for the we'll see. I was teaching in Tokyo yesterday, as you saw from the footage, and one of my students, she was saying that she goes to cram school. There's a class full of 25 kids or something. All the parents are still pushing their kids to go to cram school because, you know, normal school's cancelled, so they got to get their education from somewhere, I guess. And people are coughing and all kinds of things, and the teachers just kind of getting on with it, and no one's wearing masks. And that's in, you know, Tokyo. That's Shibuya. So, yeah. Oh, no. Oh, I should have chosen better fucking lighting for this. Anyway, no one can tell how far the effects are going to be here. No one even knows whether the worst has hit yet. After the Princess Diamond kind of, you know, that whole palaver happened, the panic kind of went down. People have been stockpiling, but like, not nearly as much as, you know, the pictures and the things that we're seeing from the US and the UK and Europe and things like that. People aren't going to stop what they're doing if the companies are not giving them an opportunity to work from home. People are going to still go to work. People still need the money. Somebody like me, I still go to Tokyo. I still have to go to work because I really need the fucking money. People don't do their weekly shop here. It's a different kind of like thought process, culture, whatever you want to call it. There's no masks in the shops at all. You can buy them. I went to the hospital a few weeks ago with a friend, and I think you can buy them from the hospital one at a time from a dispenser, but I don't know now what the situation is on that. Sorry for being such a downer, but I thought, well, I can't just ignore the situation right now, so that's what's happening, that's what's going on. As for me, I've still got work. Work is being cancelled on me. I teach as my part-time, so it's very much like, you know, student dependent, and if people are scared to see people one-on-one, then yeah, I could probably organise Skype, but people don't tend to like Skype lessons. I don't really like Skype lessons. I find them fucking annoying. Yeah, it feels very weird. In Japan, it's like, it's not really happening because you can't really see it. You can't see it. People are just kind of continuing their lives as normal, and it's just like everyone's in a bit of a, it's a weird situation. It's a weird, like, you know, everyone's talking about it all the damn time, but no one's doing anything about it. There's no testing. You know, people say you should self-quarantine, but it's weird. It's weird. I mean, what else is there to say? Yeah, it's just it's a weird fucking time, isn't it? It's a weird time. The places that are big capacity venues are closed. Except clubs, apparently. That's okay. It's almost like the opposite of what they've done in the UK, where they've allowed people to still go to school, but they've stopped bars and clubs. It's kind of the complete opposite approach. Yeah, I don't know what's going to happen in the next few days, but this is what it's been like for the last couple of weeks now. It hasn't really changed here. I think everyone's just watching each other to kind of figure out what are you going to do, like watching Italy and South Korea and be like, okay, we can improve the situation. And then watching America be like, okay, and then the UK, okay, and then, you know, just kind of figuring it out. But it's not, I don't know, man. I don't know. Stay safe, you know, wash your bloody hands. It's difficult. It's difficult to know what to do. Have a fairly respectable week, and I shall talk to you next week with something a bit more fun, because this is just serious. I mean, yeah, that's the situation. I just thought I'd make a video on it because everyone keeps fucking asking me, and I'm just getting like, let's just like put it all in one. Corona is a fucking downer, and no one can do anything about it, and that's, I think, the most frustrating thing of everything. No one can really blame anyone. People just have to kind of like figure out what to do. Oh yeah, I got a spot on my nose. Sorry. Bye. Hey, so update. Just got back from work, same day, right? Two fucking messages cancelling work for me. So now I've lost, just from those two days, right? Because I'm part-time, right? I've lost like 200 quid, like almost about Sandman, right? 30,000 yen, 200 quid, just fucking gone, cancelled. So that's brilliant. I don't know whether to read into it or not, but in any case, my life's now worse. Because I'm broke and I'm trying to save. It's so difficult to save in this country. Oh. Yeah.